You may or may not have heard this before, but it actually kind of keeps me up at night. And I'm really sorry to have to do this to you, but it's time you knew the truth. We are living in an era of information overload. The more we read, hear, and see, the less we process and remember. Don't you just wish there was a way to remove the clutter and get to the really good stuff? Well, we believe here at List 25, we do that for you at least 5 times per week. From the bizarre to the amazing and often unbelievable, we bring you the facts you love to hear. So, let's get to it. I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 interesting facts that'll make you question life. 25. Mordor is a real place. It really is. Its location, however, is a bit different from what we've read in Tolkien's works. Mordor is the home of Sauron, the evil antagonist in the Lord of the Rings novels and movies. And while J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth was a work of fiction, Mordor is a real place. According to USA Today, it's a dark and mysterious area on Charon, one of Pluto's moons, that often looks exactly like an old or dried red bloodstain. And yes, the creepy red spot was named after the novel, not the other way around. 24. The moon is moving away from us. While I'm discussing celestial bodies, let me tell you something interesting about our moon. We all know that the moon circles around the Earth, but not everyone knows that the distance between the Earth and moon is increasing. As the comparatively small celestial body continues its planetary spinning, it drifts 1.48 inches farther away from the Earth each year, which is roughly the same rate at which a human fingernail grows. This means that the moon was much closer to us in the past. Scientists believe that when the moon was first formed, it was only 14,000 miles away. Today, it's about 250,000 miles away. 23. Some people are mind blind. Are you the type of person who can recall specifics about things that you're trying to remember but can't see it in your mind's eye? Most people can picture a loved one's face or the best meal they've ever had, but other people's minds go blank when they try to do the same. This condition is known as aphantasia. Aphantasia can be summarized as the inability to have visual memories when thinking of things in their absence. People with aphantasia can't picture how characters look or visualize the settings they're in while reading books. They may also have difficulty remembering the face of a loved one who has passed away. 22. Your feet can taste garlic. If you're one of those people that hate garlic, don't ever step on it. Scientists recently revealed that you can taste the distinct flavor of garlic through your feet. Well, you can't actually taste with your feet. Still, suppose you place garlic under your feet. In that case, the molecules responsible for garlic's aroma, allicin, can penetrate through the skin, getting into your bloodstream, and travel to your mouth and nose, where you quickly start to recognize the taste of garlic. Chemistry does wild tricks with food, even changing the way you taste it. Literally. 21. Ladybugs are vicious cannibals. I'm sorry to tell you this, but every coloring book, first grade storybook, Disney movie, and Pixar animated film has lied to you. Ladybugs aren't cute, sweet bugs that we should make wishes upon. They are, in fact, vicious cannibals. An adult ladybug devours approximately 50 aphids, sap-drinking bugs that all gardeners despise, every day. However, when there isn't enough food available, they will eat ladybug larvae and even other young ladybugs, both of which have shells that are tender enough for an adult ladybug to chew. 20. You could be one of the people with no inner monologue. You know that voice in your head that goes through your thoughts and emotions? No? Well, as it turns out, not everyone has internal monologue. During 2020, a lot of people were astonished to learn that some people don't have an internal monologue, while those who didn't have it were surprised to learn that other people actually do. These people simply have quiet, tranquil minds for the biggest part of their days. When asked if they ever get songs stuck in their heads, one said yes, it's probably the closest they get to having one. And while they may not hear an internal voice, they still read in their heads. 19. Most of us choose dogs over love. Dogs have long been acknowledged to be man's best friend, but Americans are rapidly taking that to a new level. According to a Rover.com study conducted over 3 years, published in 2017, 54% of dog owners will end a relationship if their dog doesn't like their partner. According to the report, 94% of dog owners see and treat their dogs as a member of their family, and 78% include their canines during significant family moments. Given that 1/4 of people bring their furry companions on first dates, it might be a good idea to get dog treats instead of flowers the next time you go on a first date. 18. The moon has moonquakes, and we're causing some of them. When we went to the moon, we didn't just leave a flag and footprints behind. We actually left a couple of hundred bags of poop and urine too, but I'm not here to talk about that today. The Apollo astronauts left seismometers meant to record thermal data on the moon's surface. The equipment soon confirmed that the moon, just like the Earth experiences earthquakes, experiences moonquakes. In fact, scientists confirmed that there are 4 types of moonquakes: shallow, deep, thermal, and those caused by meteorite impacts. But more recently, researchers made an exciting discovery. Some of the thermal earthquake data gathered by Apollo 17 mission instrumentation confirmed that the moon also experienced a 5th and unexpected type of moonquake. Quakes coming from the Apollo 17 lunar lander base itself. This new phenomenon is not caused by the moon, but it adds to our seismic knowledge of the celestial body, which is crucial for future lunar exploration. 17. The Pledge of Allegiance started out as a PR stunt. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation. How many times as a child did you stand and say those words? While it may feel that the Pledge of Allegiance has been around forever, it was actually only written in 1892 by Francis Bellamy as part of a competition to increase the sales of the weekly children's magazine Youth's Companion. While today's pledge is very close to Bellamy's original version, it has gone through a few significant changes throughout the years. Notably, the phrase "under God" wasn't introduced until 1954. 16. You lose 30% of your ability to taste while flying. That could be why airplane food has such a terrible reputation. What's the deal with airline food? Well, that. The elevation of an aircraft can have a negative impact on how well we're able to taste things. In a 2010 research project carried out by Germany's Fraunhofer Institute of Building Physics, the lack of moisture at high elevations, as well as low pressure, decreases a person's taste buds' sensitivity to sweet and salty foods by roughly 30%. Add to that the fact that dry cabin air impairs our ability to smell, and our ability to taste is reduced even further. 15. A sneeze at 60 miles an hour closes your eyes for almost 50 feet. You may or may not have heard this before, but it actually kind of keeps me up at night. When you sneeze, your eyes close for a brief instant. However, if you sneeze while driving at 60 miles an hour, your eyes will be closed for approximately 50 feet. According to one 2014 study, drivers who temporarily lose vision due to sneezing cause 2,500 accidents in England every week. Yeah, every week. Now, what are those stats in the US, where we have more landmass and significantly more cars on the roads? I actually shudder at the thought. According to one earlier study, more than 2 million drivers have crashed while driving simply because they sneezed. This suggests that 7% of adults have been involved in a car accident due to sneezing. 14. You've been eating bug poop and enjoying it. And I'm really sorry to have to do this to you, but it's time you knew the truth. Shellac is an ingredient in candy and all things sweet that most people like to refer to as confectioner's glaze. That's because it gives all candies and sweets like jelly beans and candy corn its beautiful hard and shiny coating. But whatever you prefer to call it, shellac, which we've also used as a wood finish and brush-on colorants, is extracted from the secretions left by the female Caryolaca insects. Yes, dear friends, bug poop. I bet those jelly beans have just lost a lot of their flavor, huh? 13. Woolly mammoths were still alive in Russia when the pyramids were being built. I know most of us picture the end of the last ice age, about 10,000 years ago, when we think of woolly mammoths. Majestic, ancient, hairy creatures who roamed the earth long before we came onto the scene. However, these massive beasts were actually still around when the Great Pyramid of Giza was being built between 2580 and 2560 BCE. According to the BBC, the last woolly mammoths vanished from Wrangel Island in Russia's Arctic Ocean territory a mere 4,000 years ago. 12. Laughter as a defense mechanism. I am incredibly ticklish. I don't know about you. That's why I'm not sure how I feel about the following fact. There's a reason it's practically impossible not to chuckle when someone tickles you, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the situation being hilarious. Instead, your body is most likely using a natural defense mechanism. Scientists from Germany's University of Tübingen discovered that when we're tickled, the portion of the brain that expects pain is activated. Because our brain believes we're in danger, we may strike at whoever is tickling us, or laugh, which is an act of submission. Now, I always tell you guys, if you guys see me out and about, most likely at Disney, feel free to come up to me and say hello. Please don't tickle me now. I am extremely ticklish. Don't do that. I am extremely ticklish. 11. Our bodies glow. Literally. Men. For years you've had to listen to women complimenting each other on that beautiful pregnancy glow. And while a pregnant woman does experience numerous hormonal shifts that lead to brighter skin, we don't have to feel left out anymore. A couple of years ago it was discovered that we all glow. Literally. While it may be hard to see with the naked eye, the human body emits a modest amount of visible light. Visible in the scientific sense. The illumination is around 1,000 times less intense than the level of light that we would really be able to see. Researchers in Japan employed a special camera to track this glow and discovered that it fluctuates throughout the day, with the body generating the least amount of light around 10 a.m. and the most around 4 p.m., a rhythm that scientists attribute to changes in our metabolisms. 10. When left-handed people use right-handed equipment, they have a 1 in 4,400,000 chance of dying. Being a left-handed person in a right-handed world is not always easy. In fact, it can be downright deadly. While our left-handed brethren and sistren might be light years ahead of us when it comes to creativity, daydreaming, imagination, and intuition, more than 2,500 left-handed people die every year as a result of an injury caused by equipment built for right-handed people. As it turns out, the right-handed power saw is the most deadly item. So, to our Southpaw fans, please stay away from those. It is just not worth it. 9. Snails have teeth. Albeit thousands, yes, thousands of tiny microscopic ones. And now I just can't unsee it. Snails come across as relatively simple creatures with distinguishing characteristics like shells and slime. However, some species have an unusual feature. According to the Natural History Museum, they have a ribbon-like tongue and a jaw called a radula with thousands of tiny little teeth that allow the ferocious slime monsters to tear and rip apart their food into smaller, more manageable bits. I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to pick one up the same way again. You know what? I'm done gardening. Actually, I've fed a snail broccoli. It was kind of adorable. 8. Dogs evolved to manipulate humans. You know that cute puppy-eyed look your dog loves to give you whenever he wants something from you? It turns out that while it's 100% adorable, it's also 100% intentional and something they've learned to do after becoming man's best friend. According to a 2019 study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, domesticated dogs have evolved to have tiny facial muscles around their eyes, something wild wolves do not have. These muscles allow our pets to communicate with us by lifting their brows to appear unhappy or pouting. I wonder if that's why we prefer them over our partners. 7. Bedbugs have been around since the dinosaurs. Have you ever found yourself in the unfortunate situation of sharing a bed with a couple of 100 bedbugs? It itches. A lot. Bedbugs are nearly impossible to eradicate and can spread quicker than water cooler gossip. According to scientists, that might be why they've survived for so long. In a 2019 study published in Current Biology, scientists determined that the bugs have been around since the time of the dinosaurs, first appearing some 115 million years ago. While most of us are not thrilled to hear this fact, I mean, we now know cockroaches weren't the only bugs to survive the meteor and subsequent events, it proved that the evolutionary history of bedbugs was far more evolved than anyone had previously thought, opening up other areas for future studies. Now, what were they called before beds were invented? Bugs. 6. Human bodies are still evolving. If you thought the human body was done evolving, think again. Some people, it turns out, have a bone in their knee called a fibula, and while this particular modest bone, with its unknown purpose, was at one point fading away, it has become increasingly prevalent over the last century and a half. In 1875, over 1/8 of all people tested had a fibula. By 1918, the number had fallen to 11%. However, by 2018, 39% of people had this mystery bone. Unfortunately, you won't know if you're one of the 39% unless it gets picked up with an MRI or an X-ray, as the bone is located behind the knee. 5. You have a 3-inch long nail in your body. Or at the very least, the components of one. Iron is a vital nutrient when it comes to the human body. It helps your red blood cells to carry oxygen throughout your body, a feature that is critical for energy production. That's why an iron deficiency can cause feelings of exhaustion and fatigue. A healthy adult possesses roughly 3 grams of iron, which, if extracted and melted down, could produce a 3-inch long nail. In that same vein, the iron inside about 250 large men will be enough to make an average-sized medieval sword. Creepy, I know, but that fact was just too good to keep off the list. 4. Some jellyfish are immortal. There are enough interesting facts about jellyfish that they could get a whole list of their own. Jellyfish are fascinating creatures for an array of reasons. They come in a variety of forms, sizes, and colors. They have no brains and sting over 150 million people every year, and some are deadly. But the most astounding part of these creatures is that one species, Turritopsis dohrnii, responds to potentially dangerous circumstances by reverting to an earlier form and restarting its growth process. So, in a way, they're immortal. 3. King Charles owns a car that runs on cheese and wine. No, that is not a mistake. Cheese and wine. And here we were thinking that we knew everything about the royal family. Although he doesn't use fuel in this car, climate environmentalists believe cheese and wine are not ideal fuel alternatives because they lead to deforestation. In an interview with the BBC about climate change and his efforts to reduce his carbon footprint, King Charles acknowledged that his gorgeous old DB6 ran on bioethanol fuel made from wine and cheese. Yes, the classic Aston Martin has a diet fit literally for royalty. The fuel is made by Green Fuels, a Gloucestershire-based company that collaborated with Aston Martin legacy specialist R.S. Williams Limited to turn the King's DB6 into a cheese and wine machine. That's delicious fuel. I'd eat that. I could run on cheese and wine. Not really a big drinker, so just cheese. 2. 14 people control an important aspect of the internet with 7 keys. Have you ever heard of the key ceremony? Yeah, neither have I. The key ceremony is a secret, or maybe not so secret, gathering of a few individuals who wield unbelievable authority over the internet. These 7 key holders, according to The Guardian, are hand-picked security experts who meet every 3 months, and whose different digital keys create one master key that, in turn, manages one of these central security measures at the heart of the World Wide Web. As part of a global effort to secure the domain name system, or DNS, and the internet, these specialists have exclusive access to the DNS, which is basically a directory of everything online. Every time they come together, they flush out fake and harmful addresses. One of which is not list25.com. That is a real thing. Check it out. 1. We are just one of 8.7 million species on Earth. Environmentally, it's obvious that humans are geoengineering the planet. As such, there's no doubt that we are significant, and not just a blip in the cosmos. However, while we might be dominating the planet with our sprawling cities and almost limitless technology, we are in fact just one species among 8.7 million that exist along one another here on planet Earth. According to a 2011 study published in the Journal of PLOS Biology, there are 7.8 million species of mammals, 298,000 species of plants, 611,000 of mold, mushrooms, and other fungi, 36,400 different species of protozoa, and over 27,500 species of chromists, or algae, on the planet. It's also worth mentioning that the researchers made no attempt to quantify the amount of bacteria. So, what's your favorite random fact that you like to drop on people? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this list, you will love 25 fun facts that are really fun to tell. Trust me, they were. Also, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And check out our social medias, including my personal ones. Links in the description. Thanks so much for watching. I love you all, and as always, I'll see you next time.